Do you ever feel like the universe threw you into the most chaotic obstacle course without instructions? Have you ever caught yourself thinking, there has to be more than this? If that's the case, you're in the right place. Hello, beautiful soul. I'm genuinely glad you found your way here. Welcome to Psycho&Soul, the channel where we turn breakdowns into breakthroughs and trauma into transformation to help you heal, grow, and glow. If this resonates with you, smash that subscribe button like it's your limiting belief. Your future self will thank you. And if you're seeking personalized support, check out the links in the description for coaching and courses made to guide you from stuck to soul aligned. And now it's time to dive in. In this video today, I want to talk to you about judgment. Because judgment is an incredibly common mental act in which we form an opinion, evaluate, or make a conclusion about someone or something. While judgment is a natural part of human cognition, helping us make decisions and assess risks, it can become limiting or harmful when it leads to criticism, labeling, or assumptions, especially when directed at ourselves or others. And this plays a pivotal role in shaping our psychological well-being because it influences our mental health, deterring you from fostering a more expansive and contributing inner dialogue. Let's look more specifically at self-judgment. It refers to the critical evaluation of your own thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Research indicates that a judgmental attitude towards your own inner experiences is strongly associated with increased symptoms of depression and anxiety. A study published in Personality and Individual Differences found that individuals who habitually judge their thoughts and feelings harshly are more likely to experience psychological distress. However, adopting a non-judgmental stance, that is, refraining from judging, which is a core aspect of mindfulness, by the way, correlates with better emotional well-being. If I had to put this in simple words, I would say that judgment creates turmoil and the lack of judgment promotes peace and tranquility, which underscores the importance of accepting emotions without labeling them as inherently good or bad. I have a story for you to illustrate this. And this story is by Alan Watts, who is a British philosopher. The story is called The Chinese Farmer, and it goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a Chinese farmer whose horse ran away. That evening, all of his neighbors came around to commiserate. They said, "We are so sorry to hear your horse has run away. This is most unfortunate." The farmer said, "Maybe." The next day, the horse came back, bringing 7 wild horses with it. And in the evening, everybody came back and said, "Oh, isn't that lucky? What a great turn of events. You now have 8 horses." The farmer again said, "Maybe." The following day, his son tried to break one of the horses, and while riding it, he was thrown and broke his leg. The neighbors then said, "Oh dear, that's too bad." And the farmer responded, "Maybe." The next day, the conscription officers came around to conscript people into the army, and they rejected his son because he had a broken leg. Again, all the neighbors came around and said, "Isn't that great?" And again he said, "Maybe." This story gives us a real deep message. And it is that we don't know if something will create more for us in the long run. Because the truth is, we can never know what is the bigger picture. The whole process of nature is an integrated process of immense complexity. As Alan Watts also said, you never know what will be the consequence of the misfortune, or you never know what will be the consequences of good fortune. Judgments and expectations are fixed ideas that we have, like rules to navigate life. However, all of that is an illusion. Whether they are coming from yourself, from others, or even from society, those rules can be in the form of time frames, structures, and rigidity in the way that you can do things. Nonetheless, you have come to this world to express your essence, who you are, not to follow or impose rules. So break the illusion that your life has to look a certain way or be a specific way, or even that you have to do something by a certain time or a certain age. Your main job in this life is to connect to your essence and allow it to express itself. However, the more you judge, the more you disconnect you from your essence. It's like you are creating an energy of separation through judgment, and that is not beneficial to your being. You are actually blocking an expansive life. Take a moment to be honest with yourself. Do you regularly judge someone or something? Do you judge yourself? In fact, I would go as far as asking, how much are you judging yourself? Maybe the way you look, your body weight, your ability to do something specific, and what is that bringing to your life? When you judge, you make a statement. You arrive at a conclusion. This is your ego mind controlling you. It is your mind using previous knowledge to create patterns in your current life. However, whatever you experienced in the past no longer exists. Focus on the right now and on the facts as they are, without giving interpretations coming from your wounds. When you think of someone, your brain automatically fires ideas about that person. But being open to allowing them to express themselves in any way they choose to, without the frames you put around them with your judgments, makes life all the more interesting and fun. You give them the option to surprise you. If you judge yourself for the mistakes you made in the past, think of the farmer's story. What if there were no mistakes? What if what you did was exactly what you had to do so that you could learn something else? Or so that something greater happened? Because you are the one giving it meaning. And how many of your choices have you been judging in your life? How many of your past choices have you been judging? You do have the power to stop it, because they are just thoughts. And when they come, you just don't entertain them. You let them drift away. Think of your mind as a lake. You want it to be still, so that it can connect to your essence and receive the messages and inspiration. If your mind is busy thinking, analyzing, and judging, like the sea when there is a big storm, it won't hear what your being is saying. Ideally, judgment would be eradicated, because it does not create an expansive life. On the contrary, it creates a life of slavery and constriction. This also applies to all the things you do because you have to, and not because it resonates with who you are. your true essence? How much are you disconnecting yourself daily from possibilities because you reach conclusions instead of asking questions? Asking questions is a powerful way to break the habit of judging. It opens possibilities rather than shut them down with conclusions. Furthermore, to stay away from judgment, start by cultivating awareness of your inner dialogue. Notice when you begin to label people, situations, or even yourselves as good or bad, adequate or inadequate, competent or incompetent, and replace it with curiosity. Instead of, why are they like that? Ask, I wonder what they've been through to act like that. So, instead of judging, I invite you to ask questions to yourself, about yourself, and to others and about others. Another powerful way to move away from judgment is to anchor yourself in the fact that you do not know the greater picture. When you feel the urge to judge, take a breath and remind yourself that what you're seeing is only a fragment of the story. And as the farmer said, maybe it is good, maybe it isn't, who knows? Over time, this shift not only frees others from your expectations, but also frees you from the emotional weight that judgment carries. A non-judgmental attitude fosters inner peace, emotional resilience, and deeper connection with others. Because others feel when you judge them, they feel that energy and they pull away. So the moment you stop judging, they receive that as well. When you stop labeling experiences, you create a space for understanding, acceptance, and presence. This reduces anxiety, softens self-criticism, and allows you to respond to life with more clarity and compassion. In relationships, it builds trust and safety, encouraging openness and authenticity. Give it a go, experience it for yourself, and let me know in the comments how you feel, as well as the changes you perceive in your environment. Because this will really transform your life, your well-being, and your relationships with others. And remember, your past doesn't define you, your power does. It's time to rewrite your story to create the life you deserve. You are powerful, you are worthy, and your dreams are waiting for you. They are not going anywhere. Thank you for hanging out with me in this little corner of the universe. Your energy means a lot. Stay curious, stay open, and I'll see you in the next one. If this video sparked something in you, feel free to like, subscribe, and maybe even comment. And if you're craving more soul-aligned content, how about checking out this video right here?